Welcome back to DeepVisus, where vision meets depth. I'm your host, and in today's episode, titled The Predicting Brain, More Than Meets the Eye, we're diving deep into a fascinating paper by Anil K. Seth called the Cybernetic Bayesian Brain, from Interoceptive Inference to Sensorimotor Contingencies. This work challenges us to rethink how our brains construct not just what we see, but our entire experience of reality and even our sense of self. So, here's a question to ponder as we go. Is our perception of the world a direct window onto reality, or is it more like a carefully crafted story, constantly being written and revised by our brains? Let's find out. At the heart of Seth's paper is the concept of predictive processing, or pages. Imagine your brain isn't just a passive receiver of information from your eyes and other senses. Instead, think of it as a proactive prediction machine. It's constantly generating hypotheses or predictions about the causes of sensory signals it expects to receive. When actual sensory input comes in, the brain compares it to its predictions. If there's a mismatch, a prediction error, the brain updates its internal model to make better predictions next time. This continuous cycle of predicting, checking, and updating is fundamental to how we perceive, think, and act. Now, Seth takes this idea and connects it to some older but incredibly relevant principles from cybernetics. For those unfamiliar, cybernetics is a field that emerged in the mid-20th century, studying control and communication in animals and machines. A key idea here is homeostasis, the ability of a system, like our body, to maintain stable internal conditions, like body temperature or blood sugar levels, despite changes in the external environment. Seth argues that the brain's predictive abilities didn't just evolve for seeing the world, but fundamentally to maintain this internal balance, this homeostasis. Perception, then, becomes a sophisticated tool in service of this deeper biological imperative. This brings us to a really interesting part: interoceptive inference. Interoception is our sense of the internal physiological condition of our body. Think of your heartbeat, your breathing, or that fluttery feeling in your stomach. Seth proposes that our emotions are essentially the brain's best predictions about the causes of these internal bodily signals. So, that feeling of anxiety? It might be your brain predicting a particular pattern of internal changes in response to a perceived threat, even before you consciously label it. This framework suggests that our emotional life and our physical state are deeply intertwined through these predictive mechanisms. And doesn't stop there. This predictive process also shapes our very sense of being an embodied self. The brain constantly integrates signals from outside, like vision and touch, with signals from inside, like interoception and proprioception, which is our sense of body position. It's trying to figure out which signals belong to me and which belong to the world. The experience of owning your body, of feeling like you're located here, emerges from the brain's best guess based on these multimodal predictions. So, our brain predicts the world. It predicts our internal state, and it even predicts itself. But it's not just a passive predictor. The paper emphasizes active inference. This means we don't just sit back and let the world happen to us. We actively move our eyes, our heads, and our bodies to gather sensory information that will help minimize prediction errors or test our current hypotheses about the world. Think about how you might tilt your head to get a better look at something ambiguous. That's active inference in action, seeking out data to refine your brain's model. This ties into another key concept: sensorimotor contingencies, or SMCs. These are the rules that govern how sensory input changes as a result of our actions. For example, you know that if you move your eyes to the right, the visual scene will shift to the left. Seth proposes that our mastery of these SMCs is actually encoded in our brain's predictive models. These models aren't just about what is happening, but what would happen if we were to perform a certain action, a kind of counterfactual richness. And it's this richness, this deep understanding of potential interactions, that Seth suggests gives rise to perceptual presence. The feeling that what we're perceiving is real and substantial, not just a flat image. When a predictive model is rich with these potential sensor-motor relationships, the object of our perception feels vividly present. So, to come back to our initial question, is our perception a direct window or a crafted story? Based on Seth's work, it's very much the latter. Our brain isn't just passively receiving visual data. It's actively constructing our entire perceptual world, our emotional landscape, and our sense of self, all through a continuous, dynamic process of prediction, error correction, and active engagement with the environment. It's a deeply embodied and proactive system, constantly striving to make sense of and maintain control over its relationship with the world. And that's our deep dive for this episode of DeepVisus. The idea that our brain is a prediction machine, as Anil Seth so compellingly argues, truly offers a profound shift in perspective. It's a framework that doesn't just illuminate how we see, but how we feel, how we know ourselves, and how we interact with the reality our brains help create. Stay tuned for future episodes of DeepVisus. We'll continue to unravel the intricate tapestries of the brain and mind, exploring how principles like predictive processing are revolutionizing our understanding of everything from the nature of consciousness and the roots of our thoughts and emotions, to the challenges and exciting frontiers in developing truly intelligent artificial intelligence. There's a universe of discovery ahead, and you won't want to miss our journey into it.